Digital Audio Health by Cymatrax.
Welcome to the Rhonda Grant Show with your host, Rhonda Grant. If you believe that there is more to life than what you see right now and you want to find out more, listen in as her guests share their journey and their extraordinary experiences. Now, here is your host, Rhonda Grant.
Welcome to the Rhonda Grant Show. Sometimes the universe has a way of placing people or obstacles in your path to help guide and direct you on your mission. Listen in as we discover the path my guest has traveled. Has she been inspired by a calling, crafted her journey, or a bit of both? I invite you to embrace the conversation and to use it to help you to recognize if this is happening in your life. Our guest today is Aryana Charise, motivated caregiver and best-selling author. Aryana is a leader who has applied her leadership skills in a selfless way to nurture and encourage others. She is a graduate of Emory University and a caregiver. She was chosen to nurture, love, and care for her great-grandmother, grandparents, and parents. Beginning this journey as a teenager, she has over 30 years' experience in the caregiving industry. She resides in Atlanta, Georgia, and enjoys traveling, hiking, cycling, and sailing. Aryana speaks, coaches, and inspires caregivers to live a rewarding life while being of service to others. Welcome to the Rhonda Grant Show, Aryana.
Hi, Rhonda. Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
It's wonderful to have you on the show. Let the audience know a little bit about your background so that we may start there.
Well, thank you for asking. I am a leader. I'm an entrepreneur who loves people. I love helping people. And I discovered at an early age as a teenager that I was drawn to older people. My great-grandmother lived to be 101, and I started helping her, and I became a caregiver at the early age of 13. And I've been doing it ever since. And I love people. I love helping people, not just seniors, but all people. I'm a hugger. I'm a giver. I love spending time, quality time with people, getting to know what's important to them. I love nature. I love travel. I'm just your all around Southern belle. I'm from Atlanta, born and raised, and I like to have fun. So I'm glad to be here with you today so we can have some fun.
Yes, it's going to be fun. So what education did you end up getting that led you into a profession in caregiving?
I graduated from Emory University here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I majored in biology. I thought I was going to medical school, and then I had a change in plans, and I'm so glad I did have a change in plans. I've been able to have flexibility and the freedom to do everything I've always dreamed of doing, and it's been a blast.
Wonderful. So a lot of people may not realize all the work involved with caregiving, especially the elderly. Can you let us give us an idea of what that might be like?
Well, that's a great question. And when I think of caregiving, I think of patience. I think of tenderness. I think of love. I think of those conversations that we have on a daily basis to find out what's going on and how we can just make it even better than it is. I think of exercising. I think of diet. I think of physical therapy. I think of doctor visits. I think of everything that matters. And it does matter. Drinking water matters. So much matters. Yes. And it's truly amazing. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and for the elderly, I've learned this not too long ago, is one of the biggest problems is that the elderly do not drink as much as they should be drinking. They sort of forget to drink until they're thirsty. And by the time they're thirsty, by the time anybody's thirsty, you've went past that time where your body needs that fresh water.
Yes, correct. So water is so important. In fact, with everyone that I've had the pleasure of working with, we start first thing in the morning with fresh water, making sure that the body stays hydrated throughout the day. And it's so important. It makes a big difference when a person is hydrated. Yes, everything flows better with water.
Mm-hmm. And then the mobility. Speak to us about the mobility and the types of exercises that a person might be involved in to help them with their mobility, because falling is also one of those things that a senior could be set back with.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And walking does wonders. Some that I work with prefer swimming. So it really depends on what they want to do and what they're willing to do on a daily basis, because consistency is key. So if they just want to walk, I usually walk with them to make it a pleasurable experience. I even get in the pool if we go swimming. We do whatever they are willing and able to do. And then when they're strong enough, we can do more. So I work with them right where they are with the goal of improving their upper body strength, their lower body strength. Sometimes we use weights like 2-pounders so that they can, be able to become more flexible and have joint mobility. It really depends on their condition and what they're capable of doing, and willing to go a little bit past their comfort zone to get to where they really want to be.
Mm-hmm. And so have you made a business out of this? Do you have your own business where you are setting the appointments and also meeting with your clients?
Well, believe it or not, I started doing this as a teenager, I did say, and I did it for family members. So
Yes.
it was not a business, even though I was able to utilize skills that I had developed over the years to be able to turn it into a business. And that is an option that is always available. Though at this time, my love is also being an entrepreneur. So I work more right now as a wellness coach. So I do more coaching, though I coach caregivers at the present time. I am capable of doing both. However, right now, the focus is on wellness, overall general health and healing, and making sure that people have what they need so their body can thrive. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what do you find is the biggest thing that you're tending to as a coach?
Well, people have questions that sometimes set them back if they don't have answers. So looking between the lines to see what's stopping them, what's challenging for them, and what's missing, that if it were present, people would be able to move forward and get the results that they really want to get in life. And health is a strong factor and component that affects every area of life. So that's why I tend to focus on health and wellness.
Mm-hmm. Can you give the audience an example of what that might look like when people don't know what they're missing?
Well, a good example would be the person who has been trying to lose weight for years, and they lose it and then they find it and they lose it again and find it again. So
Yes.
there's something there. So we look to see what's really going on. And when you
Yes.
dig a little deeper, you can find out it has nothing to do with the actual weight, but what they believe. So I look at the heart matters, what they believe, what they've been told, even when they were a child. They could have been a little pudgy and someone told them you'll always be fat and never be able to lose weight, and they believed them.
Oh,
So what we
shoot.
do, I know, we go back and we change that story and make it work for them so that the weight will disappear, not just temporarily, but forever. Yes.
Mm. And so it's some of it is psychological then?
Absolutely. It's what we believe. The mind is so powerful. Whatever we believe becomes our truth, whether it's true or not.
And whatever we fear becomes truth.
Yes. So we look at fears as well, because when
Yes.
when a person has fears, it becomes a hindrance, a blockage to performance. So we remove those fears and people become unstoppable, and they do things they never imagined that they were capable of doing. And I love that. Oh, it's wonderful, Rhonda.
Well, yes, because when you eliminate fear out of your life, there's only one place to go, and that's forward to your dreams.
Yes, and that's where we want to be. Absolutely. Moving forward constantly. Because if we're stagnant or moving backwards, that is not going to work out well.
hmm What are the other types of ailments that people would have that would want to come to you to help them feel better?
Well, I actually look at a number of ailments, and I look at overall health and wellness. So some people come to me who are chronically fatigued, they're tired all the time, they're not productive, some people are depressed and they don't know why. Other people are just really, they're stuck and they don't know what they don't know. And it's affecting their health, it's affecting their ability to really live life to the fullest. And that's my goal. I'm a happy person and I'm determined to share my happiness with others. And it doesn't just happen, it's a journey. And it takes doing things on a daily, consistent basis to maintain that happiness. And I share that with all of my clients so they too can enjoy life to the fullest.
hmm And do you recommend a daily morning practice or evening practice for wellness?
Oh, yes. The way you start your day sets the tone for the entire day. So I implement affirmations, I implement drinking water, doing stretches in the morning, doing whatever brings a person joy. And if they don't know, we do things until they find out what makes them dance, what makes them want to wake up in the morning and do that very thing. And not just in the morning, throughout the day. I've been able to help people discover their passion and things that really light them up and make them smile and give them something to look forward to. And it enriches life. It's a remarkable, remarkable contribution. Yes.
Well, and you must see many transformations as well.
Oh, yes. I love transformation. In fact, I live every day looking for transformation because that's where the fun begins. When we start transforming areas of our life where there's been just stagnation and depression and heartache and pain, that's when life truly becomes just so much fun. I love it. Yes.
What do you find attributes to people's fatigue or depression? What are the attributing factors?
Well, there are a lot of factors that do contribute. Some typically start early on in life, and some have been hereditary impact from parents, grandparents. It's amazing things that happen in life to us can have a lasting impact if we don't know how to turn it around in a positive capacity versus just sitting in whatever it is that we're sitting in and thinking that it's normal when it's not normal at all. So I look at different factors, I ask questions, and we can actually get to the root of the matter and deal with the root. Once you deal with the root, everything else falls into place.
What we also are finding out is that our cells keep memories, and sometimes, and you may understand this. I don't have a big understanding of it, but sometimes it's ancestry. I mean, it comes down through the ages, and we have memory in ourselves. Can you speak to anything regarding that?
Yes, I have done work on myself as well as in conjunction with other practitioners, and doing that type of work is important because it's important to release things that are there that could be hindering performance. So that is a very important factor to consider when looking at overall health and wellness. Absolutely.
Hmm. We're so complicated as human beings. We are. We're very complex, or we make things up during the day to complicate our life.
Yes, I agree with the latter because I used to wonder as a child why my grandmother would think of things to worry about. And I would ask her, going to worry about today? And she would think about it and then give me something. And I say, well, Grandma, how about if you envision overcoming whatever you're dealing with instead of worrying about what could happen? Think about what if everything goes better than expected? And she smiled. She had never thought of that before. And it became very important for her to do so. So I would remind her on a pretty consistent basis not to worry. Let's think positive and let's expect something great to happen. And it actually worked.
Yes, and you touched on something really important there. It's when we have a roadmap that we've set up, we don't even know we have that roadmap until somebody just gently challenges that roadmap. And I know of a person who worries about anything they can worry about, big things if there's big things in their life, but small things when there's not big things in their life. And it's almost like their brain finds these things to worry about because they're comfortable in that state of being.
Yes. And I work with my clients to replace the negative thoughts with thoughts that are uplifting and encouraging. And the difference it makes is amazing. Yes, it is. And again, it goes back to what we think about, what we dwell on, what we focus on, because we give it strength. The longer we dwell on it, the stronger it becomes. So it can work in your favor or against you, depending on your very thoughts that you entertain in your mind.
And do they realize at the time that they're speaking to you that, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize I was doing that until you told me I was doing that?
Some do right away, the light bulb goes off, and others, because they've been doing it for so long, it has to be a constant interruption until interrupting that thought pattern. And the more I interrupt, the more prevalent it becomes of the importance of interrupting until they're capable of interrupting it themselves. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed that some people have certain things that they say, and these certain things that they say are limiting beliefs, but they've said them so many times that they don't even know that when it becomes their mantra, that they're reinforcing, laying down grooves in their brain that are just
Yes.
so deep. And you know what I find is effective is recording yourself having a conversation and then with someone and then listening back to it and
Yes.
realizing responses, because until you can hear yourself or somebody repeats back to you what you've just said, they don't even realize that they are affecting their own well-being by saying those words.
You're absolutely correct. And that is valuable, letting them listen to how they think, because words have power. So I teach how to reframe and how to think differently. The same situation can be reframed into a totally different situation that can be positive versus negative. And the results are astounding.
Mm-hmm. And for the people that are listening who may not realize or know or have heard about the word reframing, can you unpack that a little bit more so that our listeners can say, oh, that's what I'm doing, and I can take this and change it to this? Can you talk about that?
Yes, it's like looking at a picture and someone looking at the same picture, though they see different items or different images inside of the picture. It's like the glass. It's either half full or half empty. You choose. So I help people to see it positively versus negatively. We're looking at the same item, yet the thought process is different. And when you train your mind to see things the way you want to see them versus the way you've been seeing them, that's when the light bulb clicks and comes on. And you're like, wow, I've been looking at this all these years and I didn't see that. And it was there all along.
Yeah. And the thing is that most of the time we take up the company with people who are in the same mindset that we're in. So everything reinforces that the glass is half full or half empty, right?
Yes.
Not half full.
Half empty. Yes. And that's the power of having a coach, someone who can help you see things differently, although you're looking at the same thing. It's how interpretation, and it's how you desire to implement simple techniques, implement it over time, produces the desired results. And it's incredible to see that happen, the transformation as it occurs, and looking back on where a person is today and where they are in a short period of time with the proper coaching and training.
Well, your job must be so rewarding. I would think that just seeing a transformation in a person, because once they start to see things different, they see their lives different, they see possibilities. And so do they start to gain confidence in what they are capable of doing now once when you are coaching them?
Absolutely, Rhonda. And the beautiful thing about this, the way you do one thing is how you do everything. So when we make simple minor adjustments, it transcends just health. It goes into career, it goes into relationships, it goes everywhere it needs to go. It's like a running water, it's like a running river that can go into different places as it flows and as the person allows the change to take place. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because they can now tap in to the true essence of themselves because they have let go of the chains that bind them, really.
Yes, freedom is possible. And so many people are bound with chains and don't even realize they're bound until we have conversations that free them from the bondage and allow them to soar as eagles soar, no turning back, just higher and higher and higher.
Ah, beautiful. And the change affects them. It's so outreaching. It affects everyone that they come in contact with, especially if they have a husband and children at home. It affects everything. And they start to see that their children are behaving differently and their husband is behaving differently because they are different.
Yes, it affects everyone who comes in contact. Transformation transforms from the inside out and continues to transform. It's so amazing. I love that.
Well, I love the work that you're doing because people spend most of their life the same. They don't change. They're comfortable with what they do. They're comfortable with their mantras. They don't realize that they're their mantras. They're comfortable with their complaining, and they don't know any other way until someone points the way to them. And so really, the work that you're doing is so vital. I just love it. You're listening to the Rhonda Grant Show right now, whose podcast has been treated with digital audio health by my sponsor, Cymatrex. And today we are speaking with Aryana Charise. Please let the audience know how they may reach out to you.
Yes, I am on Facebook. I am also on Instagram and LinkedIn. My name is spelled Aryana, Charise, Charise. And I look forward to speaking with you.
Wonderful. So, do you feel that you've been called to your mission in life?
Absolutely, without a doubt. Yes, Rhonda. Even as a child, looking back, I didn't know why my great grandmother, my grandparents, my parents would always call me if they needed anything. And I would say yes, even if I knew how to do it or not. And it pushed me out of my comfort zone to be able to do things for them that was so gratifying. And I didn't know that we were actually working together in partnership because they were pouring things into me that have helped me become the leader I am today, the caregiver that I am, the entrepreneur. I was learning from them as I was sharing with them, and they were learning from me. We were learning together, and it's just been a beautiful journey. And I know that I am called, and it's a beautiful thing to find what you're called to do, and more importantly, to do it. I mean, that's the big thing. And I look back over my life, and I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to serve others. And that's what this calling is all about.
Mm-hmm. Well, it takes a special gift to relate to seniors and to speak with seniors. And there's going to be listeners out here that are going to remember their grandma and sitting on their grandma's knee and then growing into womanhood or manhood, and seeing each other differently the grandma sees you now in your adult self. And there's so many gifts that our elderly can give us. I think one of the biggest gifts that I see is grace. Have you noticed that?
Oh, yes, grace. Grace has brought me where I am today. I'm so grateful for grace. Absolutely. Yes, most definitely.
Yes. I'm in real estate, and I don't think I've ever mentioned that on a podcast, but some of my very special people that I work with are seniors, and I just love sitting in their company because nobody's in a rush. Everybody,
Oh,
it slows right down when you're speaking with a senior because they have such a they've been through so much, they've seen so much, they're not in a hurry anymore. And they just really want the company of someone else and someone that they trust to help them get to where they're going, whether it's in real estate or anything, especially in the work that you do, which is caregiving, Charise. So I compliment you on your tenderness that you would have with with the people that you're working with. Do you what extraordinary discovery have you found in your life?
I have discovered that all things are possible if you believe and if you're willing to do what's necessary. And that has helped me so much in my life. When I get to places where I'm challenged, I don't know what to do, I can look back over time to see what I was able to accomplish when I didn't know what to do. Though I had to ask. It's okay to ask for help when you need it. So I've been asking, I've been seeking, knocking, and trusting the process every step of the way. And I'm so grateful to have people in my life who care and people that I can care for. It's truly been the difference that has helped me so much in my life.
You're very inspirational. And I think that you said something really important there. You said all things are possible. There's people thinking right now, but I don't think what I want to do is possible. What kind of advice would you give that person right now who's afraid to make that step, afraid to talk to somebody about what they really want to do? What would you say to them?
Well, first I'd say, let's have a conversation, because
There
one
you go.
conversation transforms everything. And in that conversation, I would ask them to let their mind stop over analyzing everything, and just take a leap of faith and do something you've never done before and watch what happens, Rhonda. Oh, it is just incredible. When I silenced that little voice that was telling me that I couldn't do it, and let that voice know I can do it, watch me, and not even know how to do it, but just do it. And as I did it, I got more confident in every step I took, until now that little voice is so silent, I don't even hear it anymore.
Beautiful. We get, people say you have to get out of your own way. And I go, how am I in my own way? I don't even understand that. How would I get out of my own way? And I contemplated on that. And it came down to stop listening to your brain. Just stop listening to the roommate in your head. Start listening to the most important person that is on this face of the earth, that light is shining so brightly, which is a true essence of yourself. And think about your heart, and think about what your heart would want to do, and stop listening to other people who don't have your best interest at heart. Listen to
Well said.
Aryana.
Well said, Rhonda. Who we listen to, our closest friends, they influence us in so many ways. So I tell people to be very selective in who you share with, especially your dreams and your goals, because you want to share with people who are supportive, people who believe in you, who will encourage you, especially when you need to be encouraged, when you don't think it's possible. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, even when you don't believe in yourself. Yes, that's so important.
And people say, but where are those people? So where are those people that are going to help me? But the thing is that once you start changing,
Yes,
those friends that are uncomfortable with your change, because they don't want to change,
exactly.
they will fall away. And new
Yes,
people that you haven't even met yet are going to take their place.
exactly. Absolutely. And it's a matter of trusting the process. As I work on myself, I began to meet people who are also working on themselves. And it's amazing how relationships mirror where you are. So if you're not happy with the relationships you have, work on yourself. And as you become the person you really want to be, the people will find you that are in that same arena doing the same thing. It's truly amazing and incredible. I love it.
Yes, it is. And the thing is that if you're vibrating at a low frequency right now, and your friends are at low frequencies, and you complain about a lot of different things that's wrong with your life, but you complain about it every single day, when you start healing and when you start getting better, your energy increases, and it's your energy that's going to attract the people that are going to actually show up as messengers in your life to sort of point the way of where you're to be going.
Yes, so true. Well said. And it happens. The sooner you decide what you want and believe, it's amazing. Things start rolling together and coming together in such an amazing, incredible way.
I love it. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about before we wrap up the show?
Well, I'm grateful for you, Rhonda, and the opportunity to be on the Rhonda Grant podcast. It made my day even more special to meet you, such a dynamic leader and real estate entrepreneur. I love what you do because it makes a difference. So I want to thank you and acknowledge what you do because it matters. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Aryana. It's been such a pleasure to be part of your life in some small way, and how you're going to be able to affect all of our listeners by your beautiful personality, your genuineness, and your ability to care so much about the human race. I thank you very much for being on the show.
My pleasure.
Theme song for the Rhonda Grant Show is Sun on the Water, composed and performed by my friend John Park Wheeler. This is Rhonda Grant with the Rhonda Grant Show, author of Magical Forces Within, Extraordinary Discoveries in an Ordinary Life, inviting you to look for the magical forces within yourself today and every day.
Thanks for tuning in to the Rhonda Grant Show with your host, Rhonda Grant. If you would like to find out more information about Rhonda and her upcoming guests and the work that she does, go to her website, rhondagrantauthor.com. That's rhondagrantauthor.com.
Digital Audio Health by Cymatrax.